And you're live. Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. It's the freaking weekend, baby! Clap it up. Shout out to everybody going out to work this morning. Shout out to everybody coming in from work. Extra special big up and shout out to every single person out there who works multiple jobs. I respect you to the fullest. Shout out to my stay-at-home moms and pops. Shout out to my retirees. Shout out to every single clean-hearted person who wants good for others as much as they want good for themselves. Shout out to you all out there. Listen, this whole family ram thing here, that's why I put up part 2. We're going right in. I saw something this morning that says, no matter how stressed you are, please remember how blessed you are. I could start off like that, all right? Not everybody's going to make it to the end of the show, even though it's not going to be too long. No matter how stressed you are, always remember how blessed you are, all right? With that said, we call this Family Ramins Part 2 because Part 1 was the part where the lady from Holland, well, she's from Jamaica, but she now lives in Holland. I don't know if you remember the video where she called and she said, no, SouFlo, don't hide my name, don't hide nothing. I want to tell everything. All right, that one went viral. Part 2 is this one. By subscribers' request. One of my cousins got me pregnant, but I don't know which one. Mr. Family Ramins Part 2. I wanted to say Family Ramins gone wrong, but we're going to get into this story. One of my subscribers said, SouFlo, how come you're not reading that one? How come you're not talk about that one there? Not talk about that one there. This is something that goes on more prevalent than we actually think. You know what I'm saying? And it's probably going to lead us to a bigger conversation this morning. A lady wrote into me recently, and the story goes like this. Now, she said, please do not reveal my identity because unlike the other woman, I am not ready to just put everything out there like that. So her story was like this. Remember, I know this is another morning story. This is a different story. May I warm up the room first. All right. She said her brother, they have the same mother, same father. Her older brother molested her all throughout her growing up. Now, this is a very sensitive topic. So for those of you who have been molested or been some kind of way, I'm not trying to get you to have any flashbacks. I'm just talking up on behalf of people that are willing to share their stories. Her brother molested her the whole time they were growing up. It was her older brother. He was significantly older than her. She said she never told because she didn't think anyone would believe her, plus she was so young. She got an opportunity to leave Jamaica. She was the first one to leave. So she grew up overseas, right? And she never went back to Jamaica, and she's a big woman now. Check this out. Right now, she said she's in her 50s. And her brother went to go live in, I think, one of them places there. I don't want to even be too specific, but it wasn't the US, but he went to go live in another foreign country. And then he came. She heard that he was coming to visit family in the US where she is at. She still hasn't told any family what happened while she was growing up. And she hadn't seen her brother since, right? It so happens that when he came to visit the family in the US, so many of them were there at that one house that her family members asked her if she could put him up for the remainder of the days they had there because they had no room. Everybody sleep on couch and on the floor, on blankets and on beds. The house was full. So she said, okay, and she took him over there to her house. This lady said in the middle of the night, she was awoken by her brother, who is also in his 50s, but upper 50s. The man stiff, totty, she said, rubbing on her butt naked as he was born. She said she was so frightened, right? She jumped out of the bed. She told him, get dressed. Get dressed. She told him, grab your stuff. She took him to the train station. She called the other family members to tell them that he's on the train and he'll get off at stop number whatever or stop whatever. And she left him there. She never spoke to him again. She has no contact with him after that. Now me would have said, if that did happen to me when I was little, there's no way I would want to have any contact with you when I'm grown. There's no way you're coming to stay at my house. And I asked her why. I said, why did you invite him to the house? She said, me no know. She did always wanted brother-sister relationship, or she probably thought that, she don't know what she was thinking. Maybe he had forgotten and she possibly could have forgot. I don't know. But them kind of weird something that really do happen, people. Her story was very weird though, because of the age group. I would think that big people don't do them things there, but apparently they are, right? Can you imagine that? Anyhow, this one says, dear Pastor, I am writing to you about a matter. I am 25 years old and I have one child. When I was 17, I was spending time with my aunt who has 3 children. 2 boys and 1 girl. The girl was just a young child. The boys, they were grown up. We always would fool around with each other. The 2 of them had sex with me different times while I was staying at home, at the house. I did not know I had got pregnant until I missed my period. My mother did not know that I was pregnant. I had a boyfriend in the country, and he asked me if I had sex with anybody, and I told him no. He told me that it seems to him that he got me pregnant. I started to cry because I knew that it was one of my cousins who got me pregnant. He was 30 years old. I asked him what he was going to do, and he said that he would talk to my mother. Remember, I know, she's underage. She's underage here. She's of the legal age of consent, not, she's underage, and she have a 30-year-old boyfriend. However, she was having relations also with her cousins, 2 male cousins that are brothers, right? And they would take turns. When gal bad. And so far, this is what I'm getting. I'm getting you up to speed. She used to go spend time with her auntie, and her auntie's sons used to take turns, even though she had a boyfriend, which was a big man. So she apparently is about to give him a jacket now, because the big man, I say, it look like you're pregnant, let me breed you. So she said, okay then, so what y'all gonna do? Him say, may I be a big man, brave up, and go talk to your mother about it. I don't want you dash it to her. We just have to go deal with it, you know? So he owned the child and he support the child. My mother and my grandmother took care of the baby and I went back to school. This child has nothing for him. He has a flat forehead just like my cousins. I saw. My grandmother always says that he resembles our side of the family. One day I told my boyfriend that I do not believe that the child is his. I lied and I told him that it was my cousin who raped me and got me pregnant. But they did not rape me. Pastor, I had sex with them without using condoms. The child is registered in my boyfriend's name and we don't have any children together. Oh. My cousin gave me money to help their son. I don't know which one of them got me pregnant, but I know I did it with both of them. My boyfriend and I have a relationship, still have a relationship. He has 2 children now with another girl. She thinks that the child that I have is his because he is taking care of that child, sending that child to school. Sometimes I think that I would want to get married, but I cannot tell any man that I had these kind of relations with my cousins, so I am asking for your advice. Now, before I go ahead and read Pastor her reply, may I say this. If that was me as the boyfriend, first of all, it's kind of weird that the man said, I think I got you pregnant. More likely the woman knows when she's pregnant, right? And she come tell us, babes, I missed my period, I think me pregnant, right? But to show you how of a little girl this girl is, we had a discussion like this before where I was saying that women need to take responsibility, because I've heard females say stuff like, him breed me, you know. Oh, idiot boy, me give him peace and him breed me. And I'm saying to myself, like, him breed me. That's why you know you're a child trying to do grown people stuff. Because here what? A big woman, a mature-minded female, a grown woman. I mean, not talk about grown in age, you know, because as we've established at the beginning of this, grown people are doing some things out there that we can't figure out what. But listen, a grown woman would make sure, say, that's something there ready the way she wants it ready. That's how a grown woman get involved in those things without being too graphic. And then grown woman will even go as far as to put on the something upon the something and make sure, say, it stays there, right? Or make sure that she is on some kind of contraceptive if this is somebody she decides to shagger, fling out, dash out with, and no protection. Morning, family. You miss a lot, man. Anyhow, this is a child. This is a child in a child's mind frame. The man have to tell you, say, I think I breed you. You should have known, say, you breed. Right? The minute she tell me, say, a fair cousin, babe, I don't think the baby is yours, you know. There would be no more relationship or relations. But she says she and her man still have a relationship, and the brothers who are her cousins, they don't tell anybody, but they know that it's one of them, Pickney. So since they're my brother, they're saying a tour we pick, a tour we Pickney. So they're giving her money to help take care of the child as well. So this a child have 3 daddy, 2 of which are also uncles. She got uncle daddies and she got uncle daddies and she have 2 uncle daddies and called the Pickney uncle them. Right? That she have 2 uncle daddies for the youth and then she have this man. Boy. Alright, so here Pastor Dunn. So first of all, I want to tell you that I would love for you to forgive yourself. I would love for you to forgive yourself, but I start off wrong. You were young and you made a bad mistake by having sexual relations with your 2 male cousins. Forgive yourself for it. They were older than you and they did not protect you. All you thought you were just having fun as a teenager. Pardon me if I'm wrong, but 17, you have sense. 17, you know exactly what you're doing. Am I wrong? When you went back to rural Jamaica, them always blame everything upon country. When you went back to rural Jamaica and you missed your period, you lied to your boyfriend. You got away with that lie because he trusted you. And he could not imagine that you would have had sex with your 2 cousins. So you get away with it. He believed that he was the one that was responsible for your pregnancy. He approached your parents like a man. And he has been, well, yeah, like a man, but he was sleeping with the child. So here we go. Yeah, this is a story that is very, I don't know. He approached your parents and he has been supporting the child. You eventually told, you know, that's a big thing in the Caribbean, really. Not just Jamaica. In the Caribbean period, big man there with little girl, and then the little girl get pregnant and big man disappear. Matter of fact, there are even cases where the big man either kill the little girl or threaten her to kill her if she expose who the picnic father is. You know what I'm saying? It's some big man, usually some big man that already have his own. This is an epidemic among our people, actually. The girl get threatened, so more than likely you'll hear her say, boy, me breed and me don't know who are the father, but she know who the father is. It's just a big man. You understand? So anyhow, this a man here took it upon himself, said people are gonna cuss me. The mother said me shouldn't get involved with a 17-year-old, but she breed, so where do we go from here? So he took it upon himself to go talk to her family, her parents. He approached the parents, and he has been supporting the child ever since. You eventually told the man that you were raped by your cousins, but he is still supporting that child. I would say that you are very fortunate. You are very fortunate. He has not gone public with you, with what you have said to him, and he has not embarrassed you in any way. Now, you know, say if it was enough man like me would have bust out the whole thing out the road, because I couldn't take that. That level of deceit I could not deal with, right? So I'm gonna just tell everybody, say Keisha did that with her two cousins them and come give me jacket, and me over here I look on the flat forehead baby, and I said it don't look nothing like me, but me I gonna mind it anyway. And now she come tell me say the baby under my own, I want our cousin them big head baby. Our granny over here tell her about the baby look like our side of the family. Because the baby come from your side of the of the family. Oh God, we have to take serious thing make joke. You know what I'm saying? We have to take serious thing make joke. Anyway, Pastor went on to say, but you are concerned because you would like to get married and you still feel that you would have to tell your husband who is the biological father of your child one day. So, for sure, you said this person head not even in the right space. Get married to who? You have a man that never left you through all this, still taking care of your child, knows now that it's not his, even though you lied and said a rape, but it wasn't rape. You willingly dash out the toti, the tonton, and now see ya. So she's thinking about getting married one day to somebody else now, you know. One next man now. Some unsuspecting stranger. Let me tell you, man, I did a video recently on the channel where I talk about like how women can reinvent themselves and you don't know what you're getting when you're getting it. You know, you get a 6 for a 9. Because I just moved to Florida from New York. Yeah, I got my stuff all together. I've been a virgin now for a whole year. I don't date. It's work and home. And then if you ever go to New York, go check which part the neighborhood where she come from. You hear Charlie Black song that's a play upon repeat. Party Animal. Anyway, but Pastor said, you are not concerned because, it says you are concerned because you would like to get married and you feel that you have to tell your husband who the biological child is, this new man you would marry. A question. The question is this. Would you have to do it? Your boyfriend has accepted the child as his own. The child is even carrying the boyfriend's name. Poor Claffy. If you feel that it would ease your conscience to say who the father is, your two cousins would have to admit themselves to DNA testing. Do you really think that you want to go through with that? I can't tell you what you ought to or not to do. So if you believe that you would feel much better knowing which one of your cousins actually impregnated you, then by all means. You lied to your boyfriend by telling him that you were raped. No, you would have to come clean with him if you believe that you should do a DNA test. This man knows that he is not the biological father of the child, but he has accepted this child as his own. Don't do anything to confuse your son. I believe that you should let sleeping dogs lie, and that is how I see it at the moment. Others may differ with me. Now, Pastor tell this girl to be deceitful. He's telling her to be deceitful. Trouble there. He's telling her to be deceitful because, all right, she should tell the truth. Lying about rape, that shouldn't be an okay thing to make sleeping dogs lie. Just own up to the situation. Can't be wrong and strong. Regardless of how old the two cousins were, you knew better at the end of the day, and you continue to lie to cover up another lie. No one's perfect, but what you said and what you're doing is not right. Remember, you have a child now in all of this, and you wouldn't want anyone telling them types of lies. Helroy says, I personally don't fully agree with Pastor advice, but I also know that she will end up worse off if she came clean to everyone. Her entire family may turn against her. And if the correct cousin is found, he may still not accept the paternity. I think this advice is within the girl's best interest because she may lose her entire family and everything in the process and get so little in return. The backlash might outweigh the benefits. I saw. May I read one more comment, then I'm coming to the screen to read your comments. Kwashi said, what a shame on your poor parents. Should the truth be known. Such poor social behavior. Don't know how as a teenager you could not fathom that unprotected sex results in this. How daring of you. And those cousins, a moment of careless wantonness is surely rendering you a life of deception. Hopefully you will smarten up because you're looking for marriage and a happy life. Hopefully you will grow your son to be a better human being. You were 17, your cousins were older. You all should have known better and set a boundary as cousins. I am wondering if that child is even normal. It seems like you were having sex with many men, including your cousins, not just your cousins and boyfriend. Anyhow, she has indeed mentioned that. Now, a lot of people are still thinking that these things don't really happen. Ira, is she right? I'm going to ask my audience this now. Should she let this stay where it's at? Don't say anything else to anybody. Just the cousins already know. The cousins are already giving her financial support, but none of them have come out to admit that, you know, Sakisha baby are our own. And me and Delroy, you know, but one of us, because two we did a mash up the works. So they haven't admitted anything to the public or to the family, but they're helping her financially. Then you have her boyfriend who still has relations with her, and the child carries his last name. What do you think she should do? Should she come clean? Should she tell the man, say it wasn't no rape, she was really having sexual relations with her two cousins, and one of them do it and she don't know is which one breed her, and they're going to have to do a DNA test to find out which one of her cousin is cousin Uncle Daddy? Or should she just let it stay where it's at? In the event that she actually go find another unsuspecting stranger who fall in love with her, wants to marry her, should she now tell this new man the whole backstory? Or should she just still keep her mouth quiet? This is what I want to know. Here goes deception and here goes truth. Let me read some comments off of the screen here. All right. Critical Thinker says she's a dog. Oh, God. Yeah, do her so. Keep it a secret. No, man, she too brave. So, Tracy, I said she should keep it a secret or shouldn't? John says, what a nastiness. Families should know their boundaries. I agree. They should. But humans should not kill and steal and covet their neighbor's wife and all these other things, but they do. You know what I'm saying? We do a lot of things that we're not supposed to do as humans and are just so the thing set. Now that it is done, we're looking for viable solutions or asking our audience rather, put your feet in these shoes. What would you do? Tracy said, no, some make that stay in the past. I knew they resembled each other badly. Brains and SouFlo, I figured they were bro and sis. Brains and SouFlo is not bro and sis. Facey, Brains and SouFlo is man and wife. We're from Jamaica. We're both from Jamaica. We're from two very different parts of Jamaica. We know each other's family, and none of them are related. People are going like them never see two people look alike yet or resemble. Jeez. Mrs. Nia says she needs to tell. But what if she tell, right? What if she tell and, like the brother said, the cousin who is actually the dad ends up not taking his responsibility, but they're giving her money already. She said both of them are already giving her financial support for help with the child. So I don't think they would stop. But I don't think the cousins want to be outed. I think, I don't know, she needs to have a roundtable talk about this and let them decide with her if she's going to go public. I don't know. It's her thing to do. She needs to tell. That can backfire in so many ways. Family around them, poor boyfriend, shaking my head. She's 17 years, she know better. That's exactly my thought. She know better. Tracy said, keep it a secret. Talk the truth. What happens in the dark come to light. She's a dog, a real bad girl. The family is going to diss her like and her other two cousins. They're all dogs together. Things will come out of it in the future. What a mess. So sad for the child. Me and my son father resemble, but I'm from New York and he's from Virginia. Yeah, some people act, but that's, I don't know, man. That's Jamaican people. Some of them take it and use it as if they're dissing us. Oh, that matter of fact, for a long time running on social media, wherever they were trying to tear us down at, they had this thing going for a while where if you were a new vlogger starting out and you wanted to get some traction, gain some subscribers or get the attention of some people to your channel, you would diss SouFlo and Brains. First it was diss SouFlo, then it was diss SouFlo and Brains. And one of the biggest thing running for the longest time was them a family ram. A brother and a sister, we are sleep together, and this and that, all kind of stuff they used to say about us. And no matter how we told people that we're not no brother and sister, we're not no cousins, we're not related in any way, shape or form, except for being two humans of the human race, nobody wanted to buy that. And believe it or not, a lot of Jamaicans liked that storyline because they ran with it, and it was the running thing for the longest. So them say what them want, say when them ready. But no, we're not. Keep it a secret. It can affect it mentally. So let it out. What you say, carry on? Keeping it a secret can affect you mentally, so just let it out. Cousins don't want to be outed, but it's messy as hell. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because if the cousins wanted to be involved publicly, they would have said, look, Keisha, me no say I'm me and Ronnie. So let us go take a test and find out and narrow it down to who it is and give the man who it is his, right? Instead, they're both giving her money to help take care of the child. I don't know how that work out. They're both giving her money to take care of the child. Plus, none of them are coming out publicly to say it's theirs. And she over there make up story about to her man that is rape her, but what kind of man she have though? Because in the time that she was with this man, he has went on to have 2 children by somebody else. So he couldn't be that faithful either. But at the same time, you see, that's why I'm saying now. You see, when you're in one of them relationship there where you talk about bun for bun, let's talk about that for a minute. This whole bun for bun. I said that yesterday. I said a woman that is self-respecting would never be caught. My lights went out, turn them back on. A woman that is self-respecting or a man would never be caught in a bun for bun relationship. Oh, because your partner is throwing themselves all around the place. You found out you have a cheating partner, so now you're going to start doing the same thing, but you're going to stay in that relationship. So two can play that game like die sing. So if everybody do it, what kind of relationship is that? You don't have a relationship, right? So you find out, say your husband a cheat. So you know as wifey, you're going to start do the same thing too. That makes you no better than him. The proper thing to do without putting yourself at risk is to leave the relationship, because grown people talking, you know how that's something that go already. When you're out there and you're involved, anything can happen. You bring stuff home to me bring stuff home to you. We don't find out until later. Everybody confused. Who bring it to who? Now we have something that has no cure and all this. No, sir. I don't want to be in that kind of relationship. If you want cheat, and if I find out, I'm gone. End of story. Nothing else to it than that. So a regular thing a yard. Yeah. Oh, man, I have a, you know, sir, somebody told me the same thing, that in their district, there's a father, old-time bad man, you know. Them say him is an old-time bad man, where he must simmer out now, but him still well-respected in the community. Them say the man have about 4 daughters, you know, and him breed about 3 of them, you know. And his daughters know that he is the daddy, and them walk and tell people. So, I mean, this is even crazier than we think. But them something there really happen. So, Tracy said, not on her deathbed, take it to the grave. Yeah, Joel, for a regular thing a yard, yes. The cousin brothers need to be outed. What if they are getting a next cousin pregnant? What about their little sister? What was younger than that? Yep. I hope they weren't doing her. Exactly. Because now, given the fact that this sister here is 17 at the time. 17 is not, first of all, 17 is past the age of legal consent. Remember that first. That's where one of the biggest problems come in, is that the age of legal consent is so low. Them set the age of legal consent at an age where, what kind of employment, earned income does anybody at 17 have in that particular society? Let's say Jamaica or Caribbean. What kind of, where have you gotten in life yet? But you have been told by the government that you are past the age of consent. So what you see is big grown men with little young girls, 17, fresh 17, 18. She not done with school yet. She ready for breed now. I'm gonna play a house until, I remember, she don't have nothing. And this is also the situation that puts a lot of them in trouble, because here you are messing with a man, right? Big grown tough man who probably have kids your own age and all that. And he has everything. Like him have a car, him have a house, him have, so you know have to go take up yourself and go live with him. And then next thing you know is bear abuse come behind it. I've never heard one of these relationships turn out to be good. It always turn out to be controlling. It always turn out to be something she grows to become very unhappy in, and then abusive, and then eventually, you know what I'm saying? So, but the legal age of consent is 16. Fix up my camera. The legal age of consent is 16, and at the time she was 17. So legally, even the boyfriend that was 30 years old was legally in the right. That's why he was able to say, all right, then you breed. May I be a big man and go talk to your parents. All right, make them know, say, I'm going to handle this. And him say the parents cuss him, but he still went and he still handled his business. He didn't run away. He didn't say, it's not mine. He probably should have. He probably should have at least demanded a DNA test. But like Pastor said, probably love her so much and don't think, never thought she would do something like that. Couldn't in his wildest dreams think she would do something like that. She can't go forward in life unless she come clean. I agree. Now, she can come clean to the people that are around her, right? Do you think that she is obligated to tell any new man that she end up with? Say, for instance, years down the road, she meet a man, they fall in love and decide, he says, this is the one for me. I'm in love with her, spirit, heart, and soul, mind, and... My wife always said the other word, I'm not going to say it. Tihol, but he wants to marry her. Does she tell him, or does she keep it a secret from this new man who now wants to be husband? What do you say then? I think she should tell the truth. No need to start lying. She's just making matters worse. The little boy is only going to be affected by all this. She must just find out who is the father and leave it there. Not everything is meant to talk. Yeah. I agree. So when people see her cousin going to pick up, because they're not going to be having house together. So when people see her cousin going to pick up her son, she can just say, I must spend some time with him, uncle man. But really is daddy. Uncle daddy. I saw. Kingsley, bless up yourself. Big up. Point is that they are grown enough to know better. And they all need to go together and do a DNA period for the future of the child. What if the child develops some kind of medical complications? Good point. Julian Smith, good morning. Mrs. Nea says she wasn't dumb. She knew exactly what she was doing. Yes, even she said she knew exactly what she was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing enough to cover it up while she was doing it. She knew exactly enough to cover it up after she did it by coming up with some rape story. And now she is getting financial support from 3 men. That's the part. That's the part that I'm saying. She'll get financial support from 3 different men now, The 2 brothers and the man that she have, the piece of man what she have still where that actually took on the child as his, gave the child even his name. I want to tell you a story. There was a female in Florida here that I know that give a youth a jacket, right? And he took it, didn't know, he thought it was his, gave the child his name and everything. And then they broke up and she took him to child support court. Even after they found out that it wasn't his DNA-wise, he was still held liable by the courts here. They were garnishing his wages to pay child support and everything because he signed the birth certificate and gave the child his name. It was one piece of quagmire, and I don't remember what the ending of that story was. I just remember the process that it was going through. I lost contact with those people a few years back, but I remember that to be a very true story. So shout out to all the men out there. Make sure you know for a fact that it's yours. All right? You have some women that will tell a man like, What you want DNA test for? What you trying to say? You trying to say I was cheating? You're so insecure. You're so don't care about none of that. Make sure DNA test done. If you have the slightest inclination or the slightest doubt, the slightest sliver of doubt, it is 2020. It's not 1956 or 66. No. Go and make sure you do a DNA test. It's that simple. You're going to find out if it is yours or if it is not yours. I've seen many cases where the woman swear Jesus off of the cross that it was his, and he took it to court and it wasn't his. All right. And I've seen cases where back child support or child support had to be paid back and these kind of things. So if you have any kind of doubt, DNA right away. They'll try to make you feel like you're wrong for doing it, but do it. Anyone she is with needs to know the truth. Jeez. So you're saying to tell the new husband she is never gonna find a husband then? She can't just move away after a test? I have a so-called cousin that live in Lakeland, Florida now that raped her uncle daughter and got her pregnant. This happened in St. Catherine. No lie. I want to do him something. And he lives in Lakeland, Florida now. How, boy, this could have taken another turn, but how old was this cousin? Rape our uncle daughter. How old was your uncle daughter? And how old is this individual that lives in Lakeland, Florida now? Cause you see the story we're dealing with right now, right? You realize that she called rape to her man, but you realize that she came out and said that it wasn't, that she willingly participated with not only one but two of them. So, boy, big trouble there for real, yes. Good morning, my brother. Keep up the good work. Blessings, King. It would be an uncle too because the cousins are brothers. So what is that? Yes, that's what I say. It's Uncle Daddy. Uncle Daddy. He should have signed over his rights to get out of that. You know, I've heard about that sign over right stuff. I don't know if they still do that, but I know for a fact you're right. Mrs. Nia, you're right. They used to do it. I don't know if them still do it, but they used to do it. So for those of you who don't know what sign over your rights is, if I'm correct, it's where you basically go to court and say, I surrender all rights. I have nothing to do with this individual, this child, this person. Take my name off it, take everything off it, leave me alone, leave me out of it. Let the state raise it, let the mother and whoever she find to help her do it. I have nothing, I don't want to have anything to do with it. I don't think they allow that anymore. Because that just sounds like, I think only in certain cases they allow that. Like if the father is mentally ill or if, I don't know. I would have to go look that up. But that could have been an option. That could have been an option. All birth in first world countries should simultaneously come with a DNA test, given that the state can force that man to take care of a child. Yeah. But you can demand a DNA test, and the quickest, easiest way to get one is during birth or at the birth process. So right in there, so is the best time. That's why it's good to also be present. Be present, and you over there like, push, babe, push. And then you look for the doctor and say, make sure you test it for me. DNA. Push, babe, push. You're right there. You know what I'm saying? You can do all the paperwork right away, and you will know right away. That way you don't get caught paying 18 years worth of child support only to find out, say, it wasn't yours, it was for the man next door. That kind of stuff. Because it happens. Did they force her to say it was consensual by paying for the child? No, she's telling her story. Now twist it up no more. She said she went to go, she used to regularly go spend time with this auntie, and they regularly did it, fool around, she and her older cousins, 2 male cousins, and it was something consensual for her. That is her words. Our man says it's his, and he would have believed it was his if our head never take her one day and she actually tell him the truth that it's not his. Don't know why she did that, but sometimes when you do wrong, sometimes your conscience beat you so bad that you just have to end up confessing. You ever see some people that commit murder and like 2 years later they go turn themselves in and tell the police everything? I've seen it happen because the conscience is something that will bother you to the point where you can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't function normally. And I guess she was in one of those kind of things where she felt the need to just come out and tell him because he's such a good man. Well, she tell him, and he still decided to continue to keep his name on the child and to continue to take care of the child. Anyways, she obviously went and told the cousins, and they are chipping in financially as well, but none of them are telling anybody out in public that that is theirs. Even though our grandmother is saying that the child look like their side of the family. The child not look like the daddy, which granny thinks that the daddy is her 30-year-old man, when it's not. Is one of our cousin them, right? Anyhow, I hope the man comes to his senses. It's not fair on him. The hospital gave birth at if the father is not present. Wait there. Somebody says the hospital I gave birth at if the father is not present, you cannot put him on the birth papers unless you show up with a paternity test that it's his. It's the same thing here. If that father is not present, she cannot put him on that birth certificate just like that. He has to sign off on it, ID up, all that other stuff. So yeah. But that's not how it is. I don't think that's how it is in Jamaica, you know, even to this day. I think the man don't have to be there and she can just put it on a birth certificate. That's another, wow, that madness that. So any girl can just call in name and just put it. No, sir. I'm gonna have to look into that too. SouFLoTV, you have to touch the story in Toronto. Them kidnapped the 14-year-old boy because his brother owed $4 million. Snatch him from school. I'll call the police and tell them why they kidnap him. $4 million. How him did in so? But they let him go after 24 hours. So I guess he paid $4 million or what? Or the police was closing in on them, or I don't know. I saw a glimpse of that story yesterday. I never even bother run that story there because there's another story that I wanted to run, but I did a video for it. So stay tuned for that one because I'm going to post that video later on today. I just didn't want that to be the vibe this morning for this freaking weekend show. You know what I'm saying? So cocaine. Well, in that world, those things happen. Nothing surprising there. Nothing surprising there at all. And at that amount of money too, they come after your family. You have to be careful when you live in those kind of lives, man. All right, understand. All right, brother. So, let's end the show like this. I saw a quote this morning that said, no matter how stressed you are, always remember how blessed you are. Right? Somebody else say, yes, I believe in Jamaica that the man does not have to be present to be put on both papers. Yeah, I think so. I think I'm pretty absolutely sure that that's what it is. So I'm going to say it again. No matter how stressed you are, always remember how blessed you are. It's the freaking weekend. Make sure you have some fun. The weather is nice here in Florida. It's kind of iffy. One day it get cold, next day it get warm. But yesterday it was 90 degrees here, like summertime weather. If the weather gets like that, I will definitely be at the beach this weekend. Shout out to my people in cold places. I might post some pictures on Instagram and send you some warm vibrations. But but that's why we stay in the tropical places. Although, stay safe out there, because you know this coronavirus thing that they're talking about is going around, and we could do a whole video on that and get really deep and really serious. You know, genetic just and them thing there. But we're not gonna get into that now. I'm just saying, stay safe out there. Stay away from large crowds if you can. Protect yourself. All right? Respect. Big up on yourself. And remember again, no matter how stressed you are, always remember how blessed you are. All right. Stay tuned for the video. I have 2 videos coming for you, and one is going to be a new immigration update. And everybody who is a naturalized citizen, this I never said green card holder, I never said looking to stay. If you are a naturalized citizen, you will need to listen to this video because things have changed significantly. I already have that video queued to go. And then the next video that's queued to go is the video about the tourist that was found yesterday in the hotel room in Montego Bay, a day and a half after what else happened in Montego Bay. So we have 2 videos coming within another couple of hours. Pay attention to those videos as well. All right? Big up on yourself, man. Have a wonderful weekend. Surround yourself with people that love you. If you cannot find people that love you, or if they're not close by, it's okay to be alone. Spend time alone, get to know yourself. Somehow you need to slow down anyways. Get the pum pum a rest, get the tele a rest, get your body a rest, relax yourself. You know what I'm saying? And get in tune with you. Get to know you, love you, and these kind of things. Be good. Be good to yourself. Practice self-love. Self-love is the best love. It's so cliche where I end these shows and say that, but it's so true. Because if you really love yourself, you will never accept certain things. All right? You will never accept certain kind of treatment, certain disrespect. You will never spend your time making excuses for someone who does not appreciate you, your value, what you bring to the picture, because you love you, right? And you are able to recognize what love is versus what abuse is versus what a narcissistic person that is twisting you around is. You will know this. So spend time alone as well. It's okay. Get to know you and get to love you. All right? Big up on yourself. Somebody says, SouFlo, my baby is 7 years old and her father had to come into the hospital and sign the birth certificate in Jamaica. So it might not be such the case then. Because I know of incidents where the female is able to have the baby and then just put the man's name on it. But I don't know how that could legally stand up in court, because if that's the case, then it means that any woman could just put any man she feel like on the birth certificate. I would have to go look that up myself, right? And since you've been through it, I'll take your word for it, but I'll have to go verify that myself. It's easy to find on the jamaica.gov site. Anyhow, like I was saying before, no matter how stressed you are, just remember how blessed you are. Some of y'all out there, it's not the weekend for you. You're going to be working 2 jobs right through the weekend, or one of your 2 jobs right through the weekend. Big up yourself. I have the utmost respect for you. Just don't watch nobody else doing their thing, right? Keep your goals in mind and just know so what. You have to push on through because you have a goal in mind and you're not begging nobody for nothing. You're working really hard to get the things you want in life. And that's how it goes. By the sweat of a man's brow, so shall he eat bread. Yeah? Manners and respect, everybody. And I'll talk to you later. Big up on yourself. Continue the conversation in the comment section below, and I will meet you there in the comment section below. Oh, Health is wealth, yes. And up, 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 which means wake up, wise up, and rise up. And if you look below the videos now, the up, up, up apparel, they're out. And it comes in t-shirts, v-neck, round neck, long sleeve, hoodie, baby clothing, all that other stuff. You just have to click that one t-shirt. It'll take you to the store. We have an online store, and in that online store, it's big and bold like this. It says up, up, up on the front, different colors, orange, green, red, yellow. But you have to click that one picture. I don't know why it's only showing that one. It says up, up, up on the front. And on the back, it says wake up, wise up, and rise up. All right? Support a good movement. One love, and we'll talk later. Peace.